We got Paul from Miami Hurricanes Talk and Wholesome One. What is good, Kane family, man? We have a lot to talk about today with the New School Canes. And I see Alex Smith already, Kane fan from Georgia. What's good, man? Miami, William Curry. Y'all, we kind of changed it up on y'all. A little bit different time, but it's still going to be a great episode. Lots to talk about today. We had a quarterback decision made. Somebody kind of got his pick. And then we had some media days. A lot talked about there. And we had some crazy drama going on as well. So a lot to dive into today. So I'm going to give Paul the stage first. And you go ahead and say what you want to say, Paul. How do you feel about this pick? Well, how surprised were you? What are your thoughts, man?
You know, I was I think before fall camp, a lot of people we didn't hear really much about Jarren. A lot of people thought that it was I feel like Perry was the leader, Martell was a sleeper, and the dark horse was Jarren Williams. I really do like it. You know, as Big Dog said, if we lose Jarren to transferring, it's going to bite us in the ass. I really do think Jarren Williams is going to be a successful quarterback. Like D Money from Kane's Insight said, why redshirt the kid if he's only going to be here for 3 years? And I truly do believe that. You know, I think Jarren Williams is going to be here for 3 years. I think he's going to be very successful. And the one thing I am excited about is to see him develop with Coach Dan Enos. I'm very excited to see how that correlates. And, you know, I'm interested as well who wins the backup position, because that is a very important job, as everything can change in one snap.
I think that position's already won, Paul.
Oh.
Go ahead, Wholesome. I'll give you that stage. I'll give you that stage.
Miami Martell, the comeback.
Oh, you know what? I'll try not to get riled up. Don't piss me off, okay? I told you this excuse me. I told you this man was not going to start at the University of Miami due to his lackluster throwing of the football, in which that's what a quarterback is supposed to do. And y'all called me a hater. Um, you know, not only you two, but the people in the comment section called me a hater. People are in my comments on every video. Why so much hate for Miami Martell? He's the Lord and Savior. I'm gonna name my child Martell. All this type of stuff. And he's out here with the damn scout team. Ain't that about him? Wow.
Are we gonna disregard that Perry did not win the starting job, Wholesome? Let's get into here, huh? Are we gonna talk about take here? There's 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
N'Kosi Perry is a second team quarterback right now.
Right now.
Oh, for the rest of the season. If anything was to happen to J Dub 1-5, N'Kosi Perry would go in. This guy, Miami Martell, will have his gadget plays. And honestly, we knew that this was going to happen. Like, regardless of who won the position, Martell is going to find a way on the football field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that I think that that's what the coaches are going to do. They're going to find a way to have him on the football field. Whether we agree with it or not, I think that they'll find a way to have him forced on the football field.
Yeah, I mean, his legs are just wildcat formation potential, even if he wasn't a quarterback, you know? Like, it's just what it was, you know? I'm sure Rick would love to do that with him. 3 plays in a row. But, okay, so...
Oh, they're calling for uncut Wholesome. I don't know if I want to go into that guy right now. I think we should just be happy for Jarren Williams instead of going off on Mr. Third
Miami
String.
Martell.
Okay?
It's going to be FIU Martell soon.
Oh gosh. Oh, please no. Come
That's
on.
what you meant by Miami Martell. You meant the
Uh,
other school in Miami.
don't do that to me, Paul. Come
There
on,
you
man.
go.
My dad worked there. Like I remember that program started. Let's keep it good. They got a good quarterback, decent quarterback.
FIU Martell.
That's what it is.
All right. Y'all getting off topic. Let's get on the conversation. I
FAU
told y'all.
Boca Martell. That's what you meant. Boca Motel. And we're
Boca.
gonna go with FAU Tate Mart. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Lane Kiffin loves transfers.
Oh, he does. He does. Oh gosh.
He does.
Yo,
Go ahead.
I've done
Go
the same
ahead.
thing as all the media. Everybody's talking about how their choice of quarterback didn't win and how they feel about it, but nothing about Jarren Williams, QB1, and how props to this man winning the job when odds were against him, working his butt off, staying for his brothers, for the program, believing in himself and his work ethic, and winning that job. Okay? I told y'all I saw something in him. Y'all thought he broke his arm by the end of summer, and here he is, QB1. Okay, whatever happened, nothing against it. I'm not saying the other quarterbacks are trash. I'm not saying I wish them all the best, and they made it very competitive, and they made Jarren where he is now, and he did them as well. They pushed everybody in that quarterback room with this competition. So
Right.
everybody put work in, and this isn't sounds kind of weird, but this is an accomplishment to everyone because their completion percentage, their passing ability, all improved whether they got the starting job or not. But my boy Jarren, what I'll tell y'all, I'm curious to see y'all guys like how your day went through, how you found out, and your initial reaction. But so my day, it was what was it? Monday that it was announced. I was setting up YouTube stuff because I was gonna do a live show just by myself first time. Threw up a little stuff, and then someone comments on a post says, "Got lots to talk about QB1." And I was like, okay. The fans want to talk about quarterback as always. No surprises there. I mean, there's not really much news from fall scrimmage, but okay. All right, we'll do that. Then my Twitter feed, an unnamed source, like nothing official, is like, Jarren, let's go. And I'm like, I mean, okay, people are getting on the hype train, I guess. And then that Manny Diaz tweet comes up. Congratulations, QB1, Jarren Williams. I had to click on it, make sure Jarren was the guy that he tagged. I was like, wait. Is this confirmed? Is this real? Is this not Photoshop? 12 days before Florida Gators, and this guy, Jarren, the guy that's been on the bottom of everybody's news list, won it already. I was shocked, pleasantly surprised, but I was not expecting to find out 12 days before if it would have been Jarren. I thought he'd be charted on the field. So, utter shock and bliss. I was at work. I shot my hands up in the air. I wanted to scream my head off, but I don't think everyone else would get it because, yeah, that'd be kind of weird. But, that's how my day went. But, much support. I'll tell you the honest thing, the next thing that I did. I went and I clicked on Nicosi Perry and Tate Martell's Instagram profiles and made sure that they're still on the team as well. Man, changing those profiles. So I want everybody to stay on the team and keep pushing because I think it's important we have a athletic and skilled quarterback room because we've seen what can happen with Alabama and Clemson and such, and you want to keep that competition going. Paul, how was your day when that happened?
Yeah, I was out of town the day before, so I was flying in. I got in at like midnight, so I knew like the scrimmage was done. I didn't really read up that much about it. I did know that the offense didn't play that well, so I did not expect Coach Diaz to name a starter that day because practice media availability was like was closed to the media. So I was like, okay, maybe they're keeping it private. More advantage towards them against Florida, and they're just going to throw in a guy come game day, or maybe the media will see, hey, this person's taking first team reps. I still thought Perry was the lean because of game experience, and he's been very consistent. Leaving the spring, he was the best. Going into fall, he was, competing for the starting role. But I did see that Jarren was the only quarterback named, so I was like, maybe Jarren snuck in and won that job. So I was surprised, but I was happy because I know that Jarren is very talented, and a lot of people, Amon Richards, Junior and Big Dog, you have people from that have their own radio shows, podcasts. Larry Bluestein, who covers high school recruiting in South Florida, they all were praising Jarren, and they all believed he would be starting as well before spring camp even started. So a lot of people have Jarren's back, and that's why I'm excited for the kid, and I think he's going to be very good. I think it's going to be a very good freshman season. And, he did compete with Trevor Lawrence in the opening. They were on the same team and in the Elite 11. So maybe we'll see an ACC championship preview. We'll see.
Okay. Wholesome? Shocked? Surprised? Happy?
For the very first time in recent Miami Hurricanes history, there was a QB battle that was won fair and square. There was no ass kissing. There was no I brought you in to win this job. There was no you did this last year. None of that.
Right.
At the end of the day, this guy Jarren Williams was given no shot. Two hype trains came in, and he was the last one, slow and steady, and won the race. Um, Now the only thing that I'm nervous about, in all honesty, because I was extremely happy and hyped for this UF game, but now the stuff that I'm thinking about is, are we going to go into UF timid? Are we going to go into dinking and dacking and
Mm-hmm.
hoping that our players make plays in open space?
Right.
Um, or are we going to go attack people? So
Right.
that's what I'm worried about, because when you start a young, inexperienced quarterback, usually um, they don't come out guns a blazing. They lean on the run and then do a whole bunch of checkdowns. And we already saw that with Malik Rozier. I don't want to see that again this year.
Yeah. Talking about the UF game, because that's coming up. So all those who are in the chat didn't hear, it's been confirmed finally, but we already knew. Game day's coming. It's coming to Disney.
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom. So there you go. But obviously Miami UF game. So we're going to be in the spotlight, as we thought we'd be for week 0, 150 a year celebration, which is great. The hype for this game is going to be real. The whole nation's going to be watching. I mean, if you're not a Miami or Florida Gator fan, you're waiting for college football. This is going to be a very significant, fun game to watch. So that was the time for Manny Diaz and Miami to make a very big statement and show effort. And I mean, if you look on ESPN FPI, we have like a 23% chance to win. So if we get this game anywhere close to a 1 to 2 score a game, that already is going to be a move in the right direction. But us fans, we're not expecting or wanting that. We are coming with a W out of this one. And I'm with you, Wholesome. As much as I love Jarren and all of that, I really hope that they come very confident, guns a-blazing, like you were saying. I don't think we can keep this a safe and steady game for each quarter. But Jarren is the cleanest passer, I think it was, and they saw that he could avoid trouble when it was needed in the scrimmages, which weren't able to see. So I guess those things gave him the lean. I expect, man, this defensive line to really set the tone, though, man. They're just gonna. I think I don't feel like Jarren's gonna make a mistake. Will be a good thing first drive, and then second drive, our defense will cause Felipe Franks to make a mistake, and that will be the fuel that the offense needs to go guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
But media days was today as well, so. Paul, I'm going to let you have it at this one. I don't know if you saw the interviews, anything that caught your eye was intriguing to you, you want to mention or talk about. I'll give you the floor.
Absolutely. But before we go on, this guy, Russell Harrison, saying that we're not running our mouth about anybody on the team, any of the current players. You're not going to come in the chat disrespecting us. I don't take that, okay? Period. You're going to come in here with some respect. We're not disrespecting any Miami Hurricanes. We're talking about who won the job. And if you don't like it, get out. Now, the interviews that I watched today were pretty good. It was kind of fun to see them so excited to because all of our players look really, really good, man. It's nice to see, like, dude, the man with the Mr. Go-Go Gadget Arms 15, Rozier. Oh my God. The man looked like he was wearing an Under Armour and it's a game jersey. Like his arms about to pop out of the damn jersey. Like he's a guy who I want to see come in, and I said this on my channel. I would love to see him come in on third down, um, as a pass rusher on third down and come in as a three technique because I think he could really get after the passer with those long arms going up against those guards with shorter arms. But Manny Diaz said something, and Zoe brought this up too. Manny Diaz said something that was really, really big, and he was saying that we're gonna go 110% behind Jarren Williams. You know, we don't have to have anybody looking over their shoulder. We finally have a guy. This is our guy, and we're gonna go all the way in with this guy.
Yep.
Win, lose, or draw. If he goes out there and throws four interceptions, that means the defense has to stand up and keep them out of the end zone.
Right.
None of this back and forth. Oh well, you come in and okay, you mess up, we're gonna yank you out and throw Kosi out there. No more of that.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So I personally think that that's big. That's really big. And I don't know, the guys just look pretty. Now Brevin Jordan said some stuff
Yes,
today
definitely want
Really?
to dive into that one.
that was a little telling,
What do you
and
say?
he basically said that Tate Martell is kind of used to having things handed to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought he was referring to Jarren.
Really?
I thought what he was talking about was Jarren's transfer and his like conversation with him, and they're like, "What's changed with him?" And he was like, "I was in the car and all this," and he's like, I see maturity with." I thought he was referring to Jarren. Maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like he was talking about that was Jarren's thing because he said Elite 11, right? And which
Tate Martell was at the Elite 11 too.
right, but Tate was there too. So I don't know. I felt like I need to find a full clip. I for some reason thought he was talking about Jarren though, and that like he stepped up though. Like that's what he needed to change. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna rewatch this because if that's a jab, that's huge. I don't. That's a different perspective on that. I didn't think about it.
Okay, all right. People in the chat are saying he was talking about Jarren. Okay, all right. So he was talking about Jarren having those things handed to him, worked his behind off to get to that level,
right?
And then he now had to rework, and then he was gonna put his name into the transfer portal. Yeah, you're right. Okay, now it makes sense because he was gonna put his name into the transfer portal, and he decided to tell him not to.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense.
He basically as Brevin told the story, he said, "Look, this guy's really disappointed down. He's used to stuff being handed to him, which was a jab at him, but he backed it up because he said it's changed." And when I sat down with him in the car, I was like, "Look, dude, his parents apparently were telling him to get out of Miami. He was done with the whole Rick area and tired of it because he was balling as much as could. He didn't feel like he even had he wasn't looked at. Like he just wanted to have a chance, and he felt like he wasn't given one. He's like, look, this new staff is coming in. Look, trust in God, man. Just keep doing your thing. If you keep working, good things will come to you. You are not used to that, but if you really work and stick with this one, it's going to pay off, man. I think you should stay here." And it's interesting to see that Brevin Jordan was the guy for saying that. And he's talking about this, because Tate was his buddy growing up in high school and all that. But it seemed like he was his number one man on campus. I mean, after that, and he was, if you watch the interviews beforehand, he was really high on Jarren. I mean, he loved his balls and all that. He was high on Tate too, but he showed Jarren some serious love and pretty commitment, which was great to see. He wasn't, there's no bias with him, best man win. And he said, look, that's what's changed with Jarren. He matured, he grew up, he figured out that I got to work this one out. And y'all saw it. Brevin was just like, he working butt off. And this is the answer. That's what happens when you put in work, trust in God, and stay with the team. And that was just kind of his. He said, though, he was going to transfer that. Like, he was going to throw it in and transform. Brevin Jordan was the one that convinced him to stay. Otherwise, to stick it through. So that was very interesting. I mean, I didn't know that was to that point. Like, President when. Also, he lost me on the camera. I don't know if you know that.
Okay, I'm coming back in.
All right. Paul, did you see any of the interviews and had any thoughts about the media days from today and what Diaz had to say?
Yeah. I saw Bubba Bolden's. Some insight, I don't know, I saw. He did mention social media
Mhm.
some wrongdoings with social media, and I thought maybe that was a little insight of maybe there was some debate whether Tate Martell, those screenshots were true or not. So I think that was a little hint that, hey, some things went on social media that maybe Tate Martell shouldn't have done. I don't know if you guys saw the Bubba Bolden interview with Footballville Nation, but that's the one that really caught my eye. Um, and yeah, I like Jarren a lot. I think he's very poised for his age. He's only a redshirt freshman. Um, expresses himself well. I think he's going to be a great leader. I'm excited. I really am excited. I have a good feeling about Jarren Williams coming in this season. I think he's going to do a really good job. There's no reason why he can't finish. I like Tommy DeVito a lot from Syracuse, but I don't see why Trevor Lawrence, Tommy DeVito, and Jarren Williams are the top three quarterbacks in the ACC, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I also have a question for you guys. Have you guys' questions about the offensive line been answered, or do you feel a little bit more confident about the offensive line? Because I know that every single year that's a big football statement to talk about offensive line, um, excluding 2013 and 2014 when we had a really, really good
Absolutely.
offensive line.
Absolutely.
But any
Yeah. Paul, you want to take this one? I hear you.
Yeah, I'm still worried. Second scrimmage, from what I've read, offense did not play well. Offensive line was a concern. Um, Pointing out that Tate Martell was sacked half a dozen times. Yes, it is touch. You're not tackling the quarterback, but still, they got to the quarterback. I'm very worried. This is going to be a great defensive line. We're going to see with the Florida Gators in general, great defense. So Todd Grantham, I think they were like top 5 in the nation last season. I could be wrong, but this is a very good defense as a whole. And I'm very concerned to see how they're going to play against Florida. I am very concerned about this offensive line, and I think that's going to be the biggest question mark on our offense, or as their team as a whole, as offensive line, how they will do this season.
Yeah, my thoughts, so twofold. And my concern with the offensive line, it's definitely the weak spot of our whole team, but I feel better with the Jarren being called out as a starter. When I saw, that was my second thought after, I was like, that means our offensive line, be it have trouble, is enough. And I think they keep talking about 2 guys. Like, we have 3 answers. We need 2 guys. I'm going to have a couple more sets. But look, this defensive front that they're looking at in every practice is the best in the nation. And they're talking about the defensive tackles that our line coach said are the best defensive tackles freshman he's ever seen. And he's coached amazing defensive tackles. To say that tells you that, look, even the second string is seeing competition that he says he's probably the best in the nation too.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they're ready for the adversity that Florida Gators will throw at them. There's going to be flaws and problems. I'm not going to say that they're not going to always be protected, but they're enough to where Jarren can pass the ball or avoid and make a play. I don't think our offense, I'm not worried for our offense. I think our offense may be, slightly held up and delayed due to the offensive line, but it will be better and improved. Is what it told me that Jarren is QB. Because if it was so bad that the offense could not move against the best defensive line in the country, by the way, they couldn't have put Jarren. Even as much as they want, they just couldn't have. And N'Kosi Perry would have. Right. Because Jarren's not his thing to run. If he ran all the dang time and not passed it all, we wouldn't be hearing what we hear from him today. They're saying he avoided trouble passing. Right. So I think the factor of Jarren and the offensive line, offense as a whole, will work it out. And by November, we'll be better. But I'm very curious to see what Hall's.
Okay.
I feel that while we were talking, I made sure, while you guys were talking, I'm listening, but I made sure to look up the Florida defensive stats, and they were ranked 28th in the country.
That's pretty good.
They ain't 5, though. That ain't number 5.
28th?
Number 5 is something.
Dude, isn't there 128 total that they put in the statistics, right? 128 Division 1? It's like...
Well, total defense, they're ranked 28th. They're behind Virginia, Charleston Southern, Kentucky, Wyoming, BYU, And then didn't Kentucky and Missouri back-to-back weeks put up 900 total yards against them?
Right. Yeah.
So they can be beat. It's just, are people going to be, are we going to play scared? That's what I'm worried about. Are we going to come out
Sure.
and really attack them, or are we going to try to get into the game? Because when you go in playing timid, all it takes is a fumble, scoop, and score, pick six to break the
Right.
spirit.
Yeah.
And also, our defense too. I mean, we had a great season last year, but against LSU and Wisconsin, two marquee teams, we did not play well.
Yeah.
So we have to prove ourselves too as a defense, because it's easy to play well against Virginia, subpar Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Georgia Tech.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's easy. We don't play good against those teams.
We don't. We play it too close to where it should be. I mean, there's no excuse. But yeah.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem like it's very easy for us to play against these people because we've been struggling for 15 years with them.
Yep.
The new Miami.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir.
Baby. It is.
Let's do it.
And I'll tell y'all, man, that offensive line, we're going to have some opportunities. Oh, my goodness. They said a combined 24 starts experience is what they have, which is ranked 120th in the country.
Right.
We're going to have some opportunities, y'all.
I think they're going to use go ahead.
Experience is one thing. We had so much experience coming back last year on both offense and defense. It went 7-6. So experience is one thing, y'all. Come on now.
I'm with you. But dude, Trayvon Hill. How many did he record? I don't hear him. Your audio's out, Wholesome.
You can't hear me?
I can hear Wholesome.
All right, here we go. I'm sorry.
What were you saying? How many sacks did Trayvon Hill? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, on the fall scrimmage, Hill, they said, was just a monster, as well as Gregory Rousseau.
He had 2 sacks. Gregory Rousseau had 4 TFLs and 2 sacks, and they didn't even post John Garvin's stats because it was just crazy. From what I hear, he kicks Zion Nelson's behind in scrimmages, but then in practice kind of like lets him be.
Man.
But John Garvin is a top 5 defensive end in the country, so Florida does not have those type of edge rushers anymore.
Okay.
Because I mean, their best players are at the cornerback position.
But
we can attack their linebackers, safeties, and run at them. We don't have to throw the ball deep against them. We don't have to. We should to have fear inside of them. But I don't know if they if it'll be smart to do it.
Yeah.
Well, another thing I'm very excited to see come New York game is we're going to see some plays that nobody in the public has seen. Dan Enos, the book that they have and the motion and the media, there's a part where they can view it. And a farmer understand they can't film a certain part of practice, but they can see it. And in the articles that I was reading for spring and all of that, they were like, these are just crazy. And if you watch the interview with our linebackers, both Pickney and Shaq especially they're like, hey, what do you think about this offense? This is going to give other teams headaches. They're like, dude, the stuff they're thrown at us, like this offense is going to be very, very potent and efficient.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait to see Dan Mullins look when he sees what his defense is looking like when Dan Enos is going to be dialing up his plays. Like, I can't wait. I don't know what it's going to be. But, like, that motion end around, oh, my gosh. I mean, just it's going to be crazy bonkers, dude. Crazy bonkers.
Absolutely. But we got to execute as well.
Bonkers.
Do what?
We have to. It was funny to hear you say crazy bonkers. That was hilarious.
Crazy
bonkers.
Crazy bonkers.
I gotta have man. That's gonna be crazy bonkers. I like using the old school phrases that nobody hears about, like, oh, my garden piece. Like, what the heck? Like,
Yo. Hey, 30 minutes in, guys, we got 186 on live. Like, that's pretty
wow.
That's
We over here lollygagging. We're not even like really.
We're not breaking up. We're talking about random phrases and stuff, and y'all are supporting like crazy. 186, y'all. I appreciate that so guys so much. Like, that's just huge. And I do see a donation. I want to chop down the bottom. I don't want to I want to call them out. I do, but I don't want to break up what Paul is saying with them as well. So shout out. I saw Slim Shade Kings donated. I appreciate that, man. And Buddy Woodward, man. Y'all been supporters since day one. I appreciate the donations. All the donations go split three-way between New School Canes. It helps us with our channel so we can invest more to them, better equipment. Yeah. It takes some of our time and all of that. So y'all just going to get better content. So I really appreciate any of the donations we all do. And the likes really helps. It really throws us up out there and helps y'all have a bigger community to join it. Talk, trash talk about Miami football or whatever, college football, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, man, I really, really appreciate that. But
yeah, man, and thank you to all the positive people in the chat, because there's plenty of negative people in the chat, and it's perfectly fine. That's what I love about being a Miami Hurricane, man. They hate us, and that's perfectly fine. I don't mind being the guy that people hate. Just don't come disrespectful, and you'll be perfectly fine.
They hate us because they ain't us. That's what it is, man.
I really thought you was gonna say peanut butter and jealous. Oh God.
I don't want to know. Oh gosh. Now,
all right. So let's get into some real breakdown, man. We got a crowd here. Let's get into some breakdown.
All right, Wholesome. What you want to break down?
We already talked about kind of ad nauseum the quarterback position. So we got our quarterback. Joe Williams is our guy. Let's put it behind us. That's it. Let's talk about our defensive line. How about that? Because we got people in here that don't think we have good defensive linemen because they didn't make the first team All ACC. Well, if you were smart, you would know that they connect your record with the conference games.
Right.
But I'm also talking to a Florida State fan who probably doesn't know left from right. So it's okay.
They tell me that oh my gosh, the comments you get from Florida people. I respect a opposite fan base if you come at me with knowledge, respect, and facts. Don't be telling me that oh, y'all have never been in the ACC championship. We were there in 2017, 2 years ago. I mean, come on.
But then the funny part is you bring that up and they're like, oh, but that's 1 out of 16 years.
And we say, oh, what happened to you 2 years ago? How many games did you win? I mean, if y'all think that 2 years ago history is bad and not enough, let's talk about yours. Don't deny that. I will admit to it. Miami has not been where it should be in the past decade. Well, have we made to the ACC championship? Yes. Have we had some 7-win seasons? Yes. But this is different. Don't talk to me like this is the team that was there. Okay? And come up with facts. And I'll respect that because, look, Miami has flaws as well. We're not a perfect team. First-year head coach and all that. But you can't deny what we have on the defensive side. You can't deny what we have on the defensive side. Don't be telling me that it's trash and garbage. You got to do your research, man. I'll respect yours. That's all I got to say with any fan base. Any fan base.
Well, I will go ahead and give a shout out to Ben Pratt. His comment was his $5 donation said, "Love the content. You all are great. Go Canes." Appreciate you, Ben Pratt. You donate to our individual channels and you donate to New School Canes, and we truly appreciate that. Yeah. You always bring nothing but love. Slim Shady Kane brought in a $5 donation. Also a big time supporter of all of our channels and New School Canes. Even though he's an old school Kane over there with Alonzo 1219.
We love it.
Yeah, they called us puppies today, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It's okay. He's it's okay. He's good though. We love Zoe, man. We love him. But he said, why does Dan Mullen want to change the field in the swamp to cardboard? He knows the Gators look at least half good on paper.
I love this comment. This is great. Oh man.
City Kings is a fool.
That's just great. That's great, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you, Shady. Oh yeah, but what were you saying, Wholesome? Like,
Oh, and a $9 donation from Dwayne Baker 305.
Wow.
305 times 3 was a Perry fan, but let's roll with 15.
That's right.
Fan above all else. Saw some film on him I haven't seen before. Very impressed. Slim
Oh
Shady
yeah.
Kane comes again with another $5 donation.
Oh, let's keep it going. Match that.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's do a
That-
200 donation goal, guys. Let's do this.
Whoever donates $200 gets to be on the show next week. Let's go.
Oh, we'll make it happen. I will make it happen.
$200.
Yeah, why not?
$200. $200.
Hey, aim for the sky. Aim for the sky.
Next week.
If it's,
Dan Mullen
but if
can't coach a case of diarrhea.
300.
300 for the whole week. For 300.
Yeah.
We'll come on live every single day with you.
For 500
All day.
live every single day.
For 500, we'll each try Ray Lewis dance.
Oh no! Y'all not gonna disrespect my boy like that. No.
We can't just.
Anton, we already know you don't know your left foot from your right foot. No way.
Right. This is my left, right? Right? No. No, I'll pull out the Russian dance on y'all. Y'all won't be ready.
But I will say, I do need to address this guy. 247 Canes. He added me and said, "What's up? Can we talk about Gainer now?" This man literally sat up here and said that the only position, or one of the positions he's worried about is center.
I'm not worried about that.
Corey Gaynor got into the game in 2017 at dang like 280 pounds and held it down at right guard when Devon Donaldson was out. He took a year after that. He sat the bench when Devon Donaldson got back in the game. Took a year of red shirt because he had a senior in front of him to get his body together. He's gained probably about 20 pounds. He's at 300 on the head right now, standing at 6'4" playing center. How is that a problem? We haven't heard about a bad snap. We haven't heard about much about false starts except for the last scrimmage, which isn't really on the center. I don't understand what your issue is with him. He's a guard, not a center. Is it not easier to play center than guard?
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna lose it.
Hey, okay. Here's a better question for you. Jay, how you feel? Come on, Holsel. I gotta get you off this topic. He loves his offensive line, boys. He loves his Reggie. Yes, that would be on a video chat live for 300. Honestly,
yeah, 300.
For 300, easy done.
Oh yeah, just do
guys,
it.
I'm gonna say this one time. There's no reason. Ron Jordan with a $2 donation. F Florida. I'll take that. I'll take that comment.
Wait, okay. What do you guys think is going to be the perception of the University of Miami when we beat Florida? Like, is the hype train going to come kind of like in 2017 with the turnover chain, or do you think that Manny is going to force us to like calm down and keep playing? Because win, lose, or draw, there's like 13 games after this Florida game that we need to be focused for it. If we put all that we have and if we play our best Florida game, we can't let Florida be the peak and then we fall off from that point forward.
Yeah, I don't think Florida's the peak though, man. Because like the next game after that is North Carolina, which is kind of a testy game, but they're not a good football team. Then we have Central Michigan, Bethune-Cookman, Louisville, let's say, right? I mean, those are games where you can work kind of underclassmen, guys who don't get a lot of playing time during the big games like Florida week 1, maybe Virginia Tech. You know, you can develop those guys before the Virginia Tech game in a sense. See who you can count on during those guys. So I think we beat Florida, man. We're gonna get the ball rolling. I honestly do. It's gonna be a scary season for everyone we face, and a lot of confidence on our side because Miami, man, when they play with confidence, when they play with momentum, like against Virginia Tech and Notre Dame, hey, especially at home.
And see, another big thing is a lot of people like look at our schedule and say that it's super easy, but I think it sets up perfectly. It gives us a tough game, then a tough environment, then three solid games, or three easy games. Then you go into ACC play. So we will get tested early going to play Florida, a good team. Then tested early going into a nighttime blackout environment at UNC. Then
Right.
from that, you get 3 weeks to build your team up. Then you run into the meat of this channel.
Right.
The meat of the schedule.
Yeah. Here's what I think with the hype train. It depends on which perception go. Are you talking about from the fan base or team base? I think from the team base, he's gonna. I hope he does it like Saban does it. He's gonna celebrate on game day, but when
Hmm.
Sunday sun comes up, it's like it didn't happen. It's UNC game 2, and that's what he's gonna set the standard for his team. He's gonna say we're gonna celebrate today, but that's it. Like this is today we're celebrating. After it happened, and tomorrow we got to get game ready because, like you said, we have plenty to go. As a fan base, though, it's going to go off the rails. It can't. It's going to go off the rails. If it had been rigged, still people would have been iffy. I think because he had his ups and downs and whatever. They'd be like, okay, great, you got one good game. Kind of like the Notre Dame thing. And because honestly, after Notre Dame and Virginia Tech, as hype and happy we were. We still did. I didn't hear like we're winning the championship. We might be in it, but I didn't hear that. With Diaz's first year, you beat the Gators. I think you'd go off the rails as a fan base, and they'd be saying championship. They'd say it's the next Dabo Sweeney and Riley and all that. But as a team, I think Diaz wouldn't let that.
Okay. Paul, did you get a chance to answer?
No, I want Paul to talk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with both of what you guys were saying. And like I said, when you look at this schedule, I think it works perfectly with a new quarterback. We throw him into the fire and see whether he can sink or swim first game.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah.
Then you throw him it's like I think we're going to learn, and me and Paul talked about this offline, so I'll make sure I give him credit too. He brought this up also. The Brad Kaya Louisville game. If you notice, if you go back and you watch the highlights, we made a lot of our plays second half. Once they realized, okay, you got your first big time welcome to college hit. You threw your first interception. Now go out there and play.
Right.
Where they let him come off they took the hinges off of him and said, go. And then by the time we got mid-season when we were at Nebraska, we put up 500 total yards. Why? Because he just went out there and played football. We're not going to treat you as a freshman anymore. Because he started out at a tough environment, had a couple of easy games. They had another tough environment at Nebraska. And even though we went 6-6, I'm not talking about outcome wise because we won't have as bad of a defense. I'm talking about the experience wise as we're putting this young man out there with a good defense and a talented team. We're not going to tell him don't lose the game. We're going to tell him go out there and play. And just like he said, I'm going to continue to be Jarren Williams. He's not going to try to be anybody else. He's not comparing himself to anybody else. He wants to be Jarren Williams. And from what we have seen, him being Jarren Williams means that he doesn't put the ball in bad positions. He's accurate with the football. And he's a quiet, confident player. And when you think about that, that goes hand in hand with an aggressive head coach, aggressive OC, and a good to great defense. That right there tells me we win 10 games. But now we have to go out there and prove it on the damn football field. Because in 11 days, the time for talk is over.
Right.
We got to line up with these people and play the damn football game. And win, lose, or draw, we got another game after that in 13 days. And another game after that in 6 days. We got to keep playing. We want to put in the work for that game, the preparation all the way up until that game. We watch the film, we learn from it, and now we prep for the next team. We got to stop being a team that's worried about 2-3 games ahead. We got to stop being a team that's worried about the loss against Florida State 4 games ago to where we keep losing week in and week out because we're worried about that loss.
Exactly.
And I think that Coach Dan Enos, with his head coach prowess and his OC prowess, Manny Diaz seeing things done really bad at the U recently is the perfect combination to go ahead with a young quarterback for the next 2 to 3 years and put all that we have into him, all the way up until the opener against Alabama in 2021, his junior year.
100%. If you listen to Manny Diaz's press conference today, I think you hit the nail on the head, Holmstrom. That is exactly his plan with what he's doing. Because he said, hey, guys, by the way, there's going to be adversity. There's going to be mistakes. He's like, stuff is going to
Yep.
go wrong. He said that. It's going to happen. So Jarren, I want him here. He's going to make a mistake. It may not be him. He's going to be on the field to figure out mistakes. Okay, whether it be him or a running back fumbling, a wide receiver, whatever it may be, defense struggle, whatever. And I see something in Jarren Williams that says, when that mistake happens, I don't get glazy in my eyes. I don't look, whatever, just sitting on the bench for a year anymore. I will keep playing, like you said, Jarren Williams football, and keep at it and just trust what Dan Enos has taught me and what I have to do as a quarterback. And no matter, keep going at it. And the other thing that you mentioned, future. I think exactly. That's the thing he said. He said, look at our offense. I mean, are the two guys that are seniors? We have no other guys that are, really, really experienced. And this is us changing a program for the future. This isn't Miami only 2019. This decision is Miami 2020, 2021. The other thing I'm going to stick in there and let you talk, Paul. Bergie, if you for real, literally tempted to do live for $300, you've been on my channel and ours for a long time. And I know you've been respectful. So, I am open to it. If these guys are on a live chat, $300, I have full respect. I'm not too worried about that, dude. If you're going to break the bank. But I will say, I'd much rather you send it to my PayPal so that YouTube doesn't get a 30% rip of that. So
yeah.
Just hit me up on that. I will plan it work for you, Bergie, because you're if there's a core member, Bergie, I got you, man. I got you. Paul, but I'm sorry. I don't want to be off topic, but I did want to – I could have missed that one. But Paul, your thoughts on the Jarren, the future choice and, making mistakes and, adversity and all that.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Me and Holson, when we talked about, Brad Kaya starting his first freshman year against Louisville, took him a little while to kind of get in the groove. We end up coming short. But, over that season, Brad Kaya did develop. He would also, on the other hand, had a very weak defense. But I think Jarren's much more advanced than Brad Kaya was coming in. Remember, he also did redshirt this last season. So he did get a year kind of college football, going through practices. And I think the biggest key with the development of Jarren Williams is going to be Coach Enos. I truly do think that. The man is a quarterback guru. And this is the perfect situation to have a 4-star quarterback come in who outperformed Trevor Lawrence in the opening, being coached by someone who's developed Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, the Allen brothers at Arkansas, Cooper Rush, I think his name was, at Central Michigan. I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
Dan Lefevre, So just names like that, that's what excites me. And I truly do think this is going to be the start of something special. I really do. And watch out. Watch out what happens in the ACC championship. There's no reason why we shouldn't win our Coastal smooth sailing.
I'm with you. Reason I'm going to address this. Of all three quarterbacks, Jarren Williams is staying the longest. Of all three quarterbacks, Jarren is staying long. I think we all can agree to that. I think Perry would have left quicker. He's older. He's been in the program longer. And I definitely think Tate would have left a lot quicker for the NFL. I think Jarren has realized the work that has to be put through and just the game of football and what the quarterback position demands. And I think he's going to he's not going to miss up his opportunity on being under Danny as much as he can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kaya was put in difficult positions for sure. And I like how you mentioned that, Paul. He didn't have the defense luxurious.
It was awful. He didn't have a defense. There was no defense.
He would literally have to go out there and average 500 to 600 yards passing, all these different touchdowns just to be a part, just to be in the game, man. And it was sad to watch because we got to address this. $20 donation from Bergie. $300 is a bit out of my buying rate, but I appreciate the compliment. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey,
Thanks.
I like that idea, though. We're going to talk offline. We're going to get up some sort of motivation for you guys, like a top donator for the month or something, get on our live. We definitely want to have you guys a part of this. So I like that idea. We're going to work something out for sure. And y'all listen to this channel just as much as we do. So, and I appreciate huge shout out for the $20 donation, man. Core's supported, man. I appreciate it, man. Sorry to cut you off, Paul.
No, you're good. No, go ahead, Anton.
But I got this comment from Florida Gator saying that Jarren Williams. Okay, did Brad Kaya beat all the records? Or is that Stephen Morris?
Yeah,
different.
Nah. Brad Kaya broke every record.
Every dang record. And he broke a couple of Stephen Morris. Then someone said that Jarren Williams is Stephen Morris 2.0. Say what you want.
I wouldn't mind that.
That's what
I would not mind
that. I said, okay, say what you want. I don't know what you just like about Stephen Morris, but if our defense, if Jarren Williams plays in Stephen Morris 2.0, we're good. We're going to be fine. I mean, with that running back room being loaded, not just one top end talent, the wide receivers, the tight ends, even oh my gosh.
Well, I personally think, and we'll get to Razor's question here for Paul, but personally, I think that's a little disrespectful to Jarren Williams. I think he's way better than Stephen Morris.
Yeah, his ceiling is way above, and that comment was
absolutely.
Stephen Morris, and I love him. He's my favorite quarterback because he's light skinned, but he's my favorite quarterback, and he had a cannon arm like no one could say that they could throw farther than, like, he could flick the ball 45 yards.
Yeah.
And if a Gator fan said that, he torched them. Like, he picked them apart. So for a Gator to say that, I don't understand where they're coming from. But like Jarren always says, Jarren wants to be Jarren Williams. That's it. He doesn't want to be anyone else. He wants to be Jarren Williams. And I think that the accuracy of Jarren Williams is going to help guys like KJ Osborne. Going to help guys like Jeff Thomas. Because we saw what Jeff Thomas could do with inaccurate balls. Imagine him with a perfectly good thrown ball. We're basically going to get LSU and Florida State more often. I'm not going to say he's going to average those numbers every game. That would be stupid. But he will have the ability to play with the ball in his hands because he won't have to do anything crazy to get the ball. He can catch it and run up the football field. You know, I could honestly see him breaking on a simple drag route and taking it to the crib.
I'll let you. I saw an interesting card. Paul, I'm sorry. Your thoughts?
No, you're good. I don't like the Stephen Morris comparison. I think Wholesome One had a great comparison in the past to Dak Prescott. And I would like to have a quarterback at Miami get drafted instead of free agents or get drafted in the 6th or 7th round in the 1st through 3rd round picks. That's how you change the culture. To me, saying having a career like Stephen Morris will get the job done at Miami, no, I don't think so. I think you need to have a career where you have 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, where you win your big games against, marquee opponents. That's something that we have been lacking, I think, at Miami for the past 15 years as a whole, winning those big games in front of national television. We don't do it all the time, I feel like, and then finish the season out playing well. We go into losing streaks. So I'm looking for a very good season and a future NFL starting quarterback, which is hard for any program to have, but we're capable of doing it at Miami because we've done it in the past. And build off of that for other quarterback recruits to come to Miami.
So I don't know if the people in the chat agree with me, but I think New School Kane should be a lot more energetic than what we are right now. Like, I feel like we're just having a talk show. We're just like, oh, okay. Where's the energy tonight, man? We're 11 days away from kicking off in Orlando. Let's get a little fire under us, man.
Get it up. Let's not controversial topics. Let's get it heated up and get on this created. Big talk, big facts. All right. Outrageous comments. Paul, you have outrageous stat, comment, anything that you think we'd really disagree with, but you just go with.
First of all, his outrageous comment was saying Tate Martell's going to start at the University of Miami. I told you that boy wasn't going to start here. That boy can't throw 15 goddamn yards. He fucking sucked.
Coming from
I'm sorry.
the same person that had this obsession with Perry, with N'Kosi Perry.
Is my guy in second place? Is my guy in second place?
We don't even know that. Miami Martell could play more. Miami Martell could play more.
He'll be forced on the football field.
That's tough.
He'll be forced on the
quicker.
He's going to be forced on the football field.
Miami Martell could be starting on the football field, whether it's special teams. He could play.
Did you just say special teams? Oh,
he might play special teams. Perry is one that he can't play any other position besides quarterback. Miami Martell
because he's better at quarterback than almost anyone else on this damn roster.
Except
Jarren Williams, except for Jarren.
I told y'all he's gonna win, and not.
What if Perry transfers next week?
You said I picked you because he's a hometown next boy.
You think Perry's gonna stick around?
Oh. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Stick around.
Yeah, your boy Tate Martell gonna be wearing blue and red for Lane Kiffin in about 2 weeks, and I promise you that much. He's sorry. He can't throw. I told you. You come out here with this trash, Miami Martell, and he gonna be standing on the sideline, beating Florida State and throwing 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's where he gonna be at.
Where?
Okay. I can't hear you. What he gonna be beating Florida State? Did Tate Martell take a snap here?
Someone said
Where's N'Kosi Perry right now?
Excuse me. Let's talk about your guy. Had 5 to 6 games of experience. And could not stop Jarren Williams from starting. What happened? You said I chose this guy because he was my hometown boy. No, sir. I've seen his film because I watched Georgia film. Okay, Georgia high school film. I watched most recruiting. This boy found out bold. Where? Come on, 6 starts. You had your chance. You have KJ Osborne to pass. Jeff, come on. You've been in the program for how many years in college football? And you like
3 years. 3 years.
Come on, boy. Come on. Where?
Overrated.
Okay, well.
Whoa.
Overrated. Oh boy, he thinks Perry's going to start in the NFL. He thinks Perry's going to get drafted and start in the NFL. He actually thinks that.
Perry is
Jarren going to win the Heisman then? How good is Perry? Get off the bandwagon. What are we, backup quarterback you now? We're backup you?
First of all, last chance you just called Tate Martell. Why? Because he's going to be a juke quarterback.
Field before Perry does.
Because they're going to force him on the football field. This guy, N'Kosi Perry, didn't fix his accuracy. And he's listed as the number 2 quarterback in the Miami depth chart that they released today.
That's fine. But they're both not.
Your guy is throwing to scout team players.
Hold on. To be honest.
Why are we still talking about Perry? Why are we still talking about Perry? He's done. This is the new Miami. It's the new Miami, not the old Miami.
Why are we still talking about Tate Martell? I said bring some fire. I didn't say bring up a conversation that we already finished over an hour ago.
No, you brought up Tate Martell, right,
Anton? True facts. And facts again, because you like facts. A depth chart was not released. I know in practice they had 1, 2, 3s, but there's no depth chart. That's just what they rotated. They're still battling as of today, DSC.
They're still battling. I didn't bring up Tate Martell. You brought Tate Martell. That's true. That we needed more energy.
But
I just said
he's trash.
Why are we still talking about Perry? Like, it's over. It's over. The dream is over.
Why are we still talking about Tate Martell? Why are we still talking about Tate Martell?
You brought it up.
Why are you talking about Tate Martell?
You brought it up.
Why are you talking about Tate Martell?
Controversial topic number 2. Controversial topic number 2, which I don't understand. I want y'all. We're talking about Tate and Perry, and we won't talk about QB1.
What is there to talk about? He won the job. He won the job. Congratulations.
Then why did you bring up
We're talking
Miami
about QB2.
Martell?
QB2 got nothing.
No, I just wanted the people to know that you were so wrong about your guy Miami Martell winning the
And
Heisman,
Perry, where's
and he's
Perry?
the
Where's
greatest.
N'Kosi Perry? Where's N'Kosi Perry? He's done. He's gone. He's going to USF. It's a thing. It's the N'Kosi Perry USF train. You're gonna hop on.
And don't worry, take my Tellaby right there. Drop me off in Boca. Yeah.
That's fine. He probably will have a better college career.
Perry? Maybe. I don't know. Tell y'all what though.
He probably will have a better college
Well,
career.
the chat is hating us because they don't like us having any cane bash right now. So
yes,
next conversation.
I agree.
We got a little fragmentism. How about the tight end position? All right, Brevin or Mallory starter? Brevin.
Absolutely.
I think they'll have Brevin out there as a starter, because they're gonna wait to have a breakout for Will Mallory. Like if they put him out there too early, people are like, it doesn't really matter honestly because they're both gonna play. And like I said, I think they'll be in 12 personnel a lot.
Yeah.
And having like Will Mallory in the slot and Brevin Jordan like in line, and then you could even split, like you could even switch either one of them. I don't know if Brevin's route running is as up to snuff to really play slot, but I think that he can do a great job as like a possession type catcher.
I think Mallory won, and I'll tell you why. Because Jarren. I just because I know he loves Brevin as like a prep, but I see that chemistry in that highlight. I think Mallory won just because Jarren. Something about it, that ball and his hands, just that chemistry. Now, no disrespect to Brevin, I think he's gonna get just as much, balls thrown to him and all that. But this is wholesome. Correct me. This is kind of a football IQ thing, which here's your thought. So we talked about offensive line and how we feel about it, but tight ends block as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind and the schemes that Dan Enos throws, won't that really, really help us with our tight ends and all that? I mean, we should be much better in coverage now with them as well, bulking up the line.
I get your point, but both of them are pretty good at run blocking and pass blocking. Just because Will Mallory is bigger doesn't mean that he's just so much better than Brevin at the blocking part of playing tight end.
Brevin blocked great last year.
Right, and Brevin low key blocked what's your boy Burns from that school, that hunky dunk school in Tallahassee.
Florida State.
He blocked the first round defensive end on that deep seam to Jeff Thomas that N'Kosi Perry threw. He with great accuracy at a deep ball. He caught the ball down the seam, and if you look back at the replay, Brevin Jordan was blocking the first round edge rusher. So either way, we're really good. And the beautiful part about having both of these guys on the field, it doesn't give away what play we're going to do. Like we can pass or run with either one of them out there in line, and we could pass or run with either one of them at the slot, or we could pass or run with both of them at inline and slot. Because they both in open field can make plays blocking, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Will Mallory might have the best hands opposite of KJ Osborne. Might have the best hands on the team.
Ooh. All right, but to back it up, I just saw a stat. Other than Georgia's tight end, Brevin, his targets and completions were the highest in the country, which is very interesting. I saw come up. So, I'm with you. I'm with you on the statement, though. Mallory's got more sure hands in the highlights than Brevin, but game experience, Brevin, our room is stacked. And we haven't even talked about the third and fourth string, which would be Irvin the second, which he's been quiet, man. What happened? Like, he had some fire going, and then he got quiet. Is this because Hodges coming up? What's going on? Come on, man. I was really hoping because of the bloodline.
I will say this because the chat is on us about Kane bashing. Michael Irvin II just has not turned the corner yet. I'll say that.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
Larry Hodges has made a lot of plays. Even that play where he got smacked by Derek Smith and fumbled the ball, that was like for a 30-yard gain, and then he fumbled it. Like it was a nice deep ball thrown.
Mhm.
Um, and it's nice to see it. It really, really is because the good thing about developing players is when you bring in a guy and you see that his highlight film in high school translates to what he does for you in the college level. But what makes you even more happy um, as a coach is when you're able to take a guy who was a project or take a guy who was maybe even a legacy guy or someone who was a so-so and then make him into a starter in a conference worthy player. Not saying that Michael Irvin II wasn't an ACC player, not saying that he wasn't so good, but he has like two top 2 round pick tight ends in front of him.
Yeah, he's got a
You know,
difficult squad ahead of him. I'm with you. That's his problem. Like I think on just about most any team, he could be starting at tight end easy. But here, he's third or fourth. I mean, I know he's more of a smoothie starter and all that, but The Rock, like he didn't start, but he may have been a decent football player. I know he got his injury and all that, but look at who he had in front of him, making the old school Canes. We kind of have that kind of tight end problem right now, which is a good one.
right,
So
right,
we're not dissing. I'm with you. We're not dissing Irvin. We're just saying that he's got a difficult roster ahead of him.
right. And, hopefully he gets out there and makes plays when he gets an opportunity. His blocking is pretty good, and his hands are iffy. But are we going to have this guy? Are we really going to go 13 personnel and have 3 tight ends on the field? Or if somebody gets tired, are we really going to target Michael Irvin over even Brevin Jordan or Will Mallory? And if we do, I hope he makes a big time play when the ball is in his hands. I would
Yes.
love to see him do a Clyde Walford break for 60 on a slant versus Florida State. I would love that. But is it a factual statement or is it a dream?
Paul, what are your thoughts on
Paul, how
that?
do you feel about it?
Both tight ends are going to be very good. Will Mallory and Brevin Jordan. Finally, we utilize our tight ends the right way. I felt like Mark Rick was awful and really underdeveloped our tight ends, specifically Chris Herndon and David Njoku. He had no idea what he had in front of him with David Njoku until 4 games left in the season. Brad Kai's junior year. I'm really excited because
Facts.
Dan, this is what his specialty is. He's going to
That's his
utilize the
favorite.
tight ends left.
Oh,
and
yeah.
right.
QB to tight end, that's his favorite.
You're going to see you're going to see Larry. You're going to see all tight ends play this season. I just hope they all stay healthy. I really do, because that's going to be the big if. Because Brevin Jordan, he has been kind of was nursing.
He's been nursing injury.
Off season. So I really hope just a healthy season from Brevin Jordan, and the sky's the limit for those 2 guys. So I'm excited, very excited.
Yeah, I think that's one of our positions where we're so deep at. I would say tight end, running back, defensive tackle, defensive line. Period. I think we have a lot of depth at those positions. But um, who do you all think is going to have the better senior year, 56 or 55?
I think 56.
And what I mean by better year, I mean tackles, TFLs, big plays, interceptions. Who's going to have the bigger season, 55 or 56?
If I had to bet $100, it'd be 56, man. He's been making more noise. Diaz has been talking about him a lot more often, and he's been blowing up the stats. I mean, it's just I don't see why not. I think senior year is just going to ramp up the pressure on him, and I know Shaq's the leader and maybe the vocal guy, and he can see the field, but 56 is the baller. 56 is going to become a complete player come senior year, man. I really think he's just going to be like his draft stock is going to fly. If he stays healthy, man, this guy's just who is not going to want him. I can see him becoming a first rounder. I really can. With our ACC conference, him as a linebacker and that defensive front, man, he's going to look good. I put I put a lot of money on 56, honestly. Not to this 55, but as of now, I've seen 56 number one consistently through 2019.
I think just to add to Anton's comments, this is probably the best shape Michael Pickney has been in physically throughout his college career. I think that's going to be the biggest improvement. Personally, he's going to be very well conditioned. I'm expecting him to make a lot of big plays like he has in the past. I'm expecting Shaq Quarterman to make big plays because that's one thing missing from Shaq Quarterman. You know, he is consistent, but can he make the big plays to, you know, change the momentum of a game or win you a football game when it matters? You know, make that big stop, make that big pick six, force turnovers. That's what I've been missing from Quarterman, his University of Miami career, besides consistency, because that's just what he's been, I think.
Okay. The majority of the chat agrees with 56. I've had two people say Quarterman, and Slim Shady Canes had a $2 donation and says 55 is the most consistent linebacker. And Donnie Hudson said Enos is going to eat some Gator anus. Go Canes.
Oh boy, God, I don't wish that on anyone.
I'm glad you read that one, Wholesome, and I'll leave it there. But we appreciate all donations.
I don't wish that on anyone.
Okay.
But there's a comparison going on in the chat. Let's see how you all feel about this. They said Michael Pickney equals Devin Bush from Michigan.
No.
I think he's different. I get what they're saying, but I think he's different. Not that he's not as good, but he's different.
I think they're looking at it from the coverage and like bigger playability that Devin Bush had. But low key, Devin Bush is like short and stocky. Like he's pretty like wide and built pretty well. But as far as like speed and playmaking ability, I see where they're coming from with the comparison to 56. But let's go ahead and do the rapid fire questions, guys. Just throw it in there, but we're only going to give you like a 10-second response. We spend the last 15 minutes or so answering these questions, and we'll go pretty fast because I got practice at 8 a.m., which means I got to be there at 7. So yeah.
But I want to say huge shout out to everyone in the chat. We have been at 180, almost 90 consistently. So all y'all supporting us, so many donations, much love, and great thoughts. Like y'all been putting up really good comments to this channel, very engaging, been very great. I'll never forget about y'all. This show about y'all. Without y'all, there's no show. And I want to give special thanks. We may hate each other, cut up and all that, but we love each other. We all Kane family and Paul and Wholesome One. This is the only new school Kane show you get anywhere else, and all the continent here. We still love each other. We may get it added and cut up, but I really just having this show is so much fun, man. So much fun, y'all. But
yeah, I'm sorry, not sorry for yelling in your ear, but I had to bring the energy in this show. Like it was dying out there, so we had to amp it up.
The obsession,
no, unknown faith.
Too much.
No.
Huh?
I'm throwing
What's going on?
There's a question. Will Robert Knowles be in rotation?
Yeah, he will. Oh
gosh.
Yeah. Those coaches love this man, yo.
What year is he?
I think they don't care nothing about what we have to say. He's a practice warrior, and these coaches love him. They're gonna put him on their field. And when he give up a touchdown, I don't want to hear nothing about y'all talking about Kane hate and stop yelling in the speaker. I don't want to hear nothing about it because we have seen what this young man is. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou.
Cousins. Good question. Oh, what about you, Paul? I'm curious. Do you agree with me or Paul? Or Wholesome on this one? Knowles, rotation, yes or no?
Yeah, I think they will. Early on, especially. Okay. I think they will. I'll keep it short.
Okay. Kyle says, how much 22 personnel will we see this year?
22. Jesus.
I
I say less than 5% because I think we'll be a big play offense. I don't think we'll be a red zone offense.
That's what I was thinking. Well, how many times are we going to be in the red zone is the question. Big play?
Yeah.
Hopefully a lot.
No,
No,
like. What do you see?
no, it's Paul's face when he said it. Hopefully a lot.
I got
He's funny, man. Paul's hilarious.
Okay, but yeah, is this gonna be like the 60-second offense that gets a touchdown year, or is this gonna be, slow and steady drive kind of thing? I think
that's my goal. Yeah. Because
I got you.
I mean, in the past, man, like, dude, I mean, we've taken like 10 minutes just to drive down the football field, man. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I see other teams, and it's like, boom, 2-minute drive, they're in. Like, us, it's like, all right, guys, let's come together. Let's break the huddle. Like, it's so slow. And Enos was mad about that in the first scrimmage. He was very agitated about that. A lot of delay of games happening. So I hope we can drive down the field quickly and score.
Oh.
Yeah, I personally think that it'll be a I love a quick hitter offense. But the only thing about having a quick big play offense is what happens when we have a stumble and we can't have big plays. Then we're like big player miss, and then we go missing for like 2-3 quarters and have to depend on the defense to keep us in the game.
Here's what I think will happen. I think we'll have a problem where we'll throw a long pass, 30, 40 yards, but we'll get tackled, we'll trip up whatever in the red zone, and then that's when the 21, 22 personnel will come and play. And we have been working on it. And it's not bad because it's like you'll have a 5-minute drive, which gives your defense a breath, but you make sure you get a touchdown. As long as you get dang touchdowns, not them field goals, and then a 20-yarder missed by a freshman kicker, I know, but like
sophomore kicker.
Was he a sophomore? Is he a sophomore?
He is a sophomore now.
Yeah.
But I saw a good question in here by 247 Canes. Who has the better season, KJ Osborne or Jeff Thomas?
Define better.
Ooh.
Take it at face value. Like,
okay.
Who has more stats? Who has more touchdowns? Who has like the big impact on the team?
I think KJ Osborne. I know it's not a fan favorite, but I think KJ Osborne. I really do. I don't see anything that changes it. Jeff Thomas has not been making noise. Osborne's been making the snatches. Like, he's been making all the snatches. He's been in the number one in the news. It's just he's peaking and all that. What have you heard? Big news from Jeff Thomas.
Jeff Thomas isn't a practice player like Robert Knowles.
Neither is Osborne.
Ooh.
Osborne is a when you get older in the football game, like the reason why we're talking about him so much is appreciative of what he's bringing to the table. Like, teaching the wide receivers how to be mature and him making big plays. That they expect that stuff from Jeff Thomas. But KJ coming from Buffalo, there was like could he play at this level type of thing, And KJ is like I wouldn't say his possession because he had 1,500 total yards at Buffalo in 3 seasons. But I personally think that it has to be Jeff Thomas because I think Jeff will have punt, he will have kick return yards, he'll have ace jet yards, he'll have receiving, he'll have wildcat yards. Like I think they'll use him kind of like DeAnthony Thomas. Like we're just gonna put this guy on the football field with the ball in his hand. At least that's what I would want to do if I had Jeff Thomas. But to answer the question, I believe that Jeff Thomas will have the better production and impact on the season. I think KJ Osborne will make like tough catches. If you're asking me who am I going to on 3rd and 4 on a slant route and they know the slant is coming, I'll take KJ. But if you're telling me like it's 3rd and 14, I need a guy to get behind the defense or I need a guy to take a slant to the house, I'm taking Jeff Thomas.
Paul?
Yeah, I think Holstein made it more clear, if you're going to use Jeff Thomas on punt returns, utilize him as a playmaker. I think Jeff Thomas can have a monster year. I would like a big year for KJ Osborne. because I truly think that he will move the offense and it will just make our wide receiver group better as a whole if KJ Osborne doesn't emerge as our top receiver or one of our top receivers. But I think Jeff Thomas can do something really special. I think Dan Enos is going to give him a lot of looks every game. That is the priority. He recognizes his skill set, and he's going to, work around it. So I think Jeff Thomas.
I think they're really going to complement each other well, though, because if you watch KJ and his play style, and I understand what you're saying, practice squad, but look, he's been balling in scrimmage against our top defense front. I mean, we're really confident in our defense, and he's been getting them. He's been getting them. He'll get the 20, 30-yard catch, maybe 40. But once you do a couple of those in a game, Jeff Thomas is going to explode. I mean, they're going to leave that backfield more open. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wholesome. And they'll just complement each other that way. I really think that, and it will. If you utilize him as a punt return, kick returner, though, I didn't think about that. You're right. It makes a lot more sense to be better. I want to pick up Dwayne Baker because he's been in the channel for a while and been donating. He says, "Do we guys see Jay Williams going for 40+ touchdowns this year?"
No.
When you said 40, I had an initial shock. I don't know if you saw that. But all that talent with this horrible schedule, I don't know.
Manny Diaz, who will run up the score?
Not 40, man.
Now, I don't know about 40.
40 is a lot.
40 total. I think he could peak at about 31, 32. I don't know if he can get to 40, but I think because of our running plays, I think our running back.
That's what I think.
I don't know if he can get to 40. Even if, like, him running the ball, I don't know if we can get to 40.
Plus,
I don't even think Stephen Morris or Brad Kaya got to 40 in one season. And they were our gunslingers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck, how many did as crazy lethal as Tua was? How many touchdowns did he have? Was it around 50 or less than that?
Tua threw like 50. Like, he broke records.
40. Let's see. Yeah.
I think Trevor threw 36.
Yeah, because Trevor, I don't think Tua threw more than Trevor touchdowns, but it's the other thing you got to put into this is we're going to have to. He's going to have a bigger chance if he plays crazy and gets to the playoff. He has more games in the schedule, like just 40 is a lot.
Yeah.
And
the regular season, 12 games.
Yeah, that's crazy. Buddy with the Two-Dog Nation. I once outran a pitcher. Oh, okay. Not your Bethel.
Okay. Also, another question that 247 threw out there is who is our sleeper on offense and on defense? Oh, Junior and the Big Dog in the chat. What's up, man?
Hey. What's up, guys? Good to see that.
Who's our sleeper?
All right, sleeper. What do you say on offense and defense?
Yeah, so give him one on offense and one on defense. Y'all better not take my guy. Y'all already know who my guy is.
Perry?
You had to do that to him, Paul. Oh, gosh. Man, tough one. I'm going to change this one up. And this one be surprised at, but I think he's going to be a starter.
All right. I got mine.
I don't know if y'all will agree with him being a sleeper or not. Paul, go ahead.
I got mine because I'm just sick of people. I just want him to just do well already. Is Mark Pope? His name keeps coming up, asking everyone. When is this guy is he gonna play well?
I just said, do not take my guy. I just said that. I have said on this channel multiple times that 6 is my breakout player. What does Paul do? Take my guy. Okay, man.
Break my stick alike, man. Still
and then my defensive player, and this is a stretch because I don't think physically he's there at all. Bubba Bolden.
Whoa!
I don't think that's a stretch. I think he might actually come and take Amari Carter's strong safety job by like week 4.
Yeah. So I think that's my sleeper.
Okay. Anton, go ahead.
All right. See, it's just I'm so high on all these guys. I don't know what you can consider a sleeper, but I really like Rousseau, man. I think Rousseau's going to make some noise coming to the ACC schedule. I don't know if he's considered a sleeper on the defensive side, but he hasn't ever like really made a season game impact. So I really think this guy's just going to be like he's going to make the nation. Oh wow, where was this guy? You know, type of thing. Offense, Lingard. I think we're not talking about Lingard, and I know he's not healthy 100% being on and off, but like you said, after week 4, like a sleeper type of thing, I think he just will possibly explode and just like they won't be able to keep him off the field. This guy's got crazy potential, and that offensive line unit will be better by later on into the season. I think he's quite a sleeper candidate because Pope was
okay. Yeah. All right, who's your sleeper?
Yeah, I guess I can't. Wow, that was a low blow, Paul. My sleeper on offense, the player who I actually had Pope as my breakout player, so I don't really know if that's a sleeper or if it's more like I'm waiting on him to take that next step. But sleeper, hopefully this guy's hands get right. I don't know if they really are, but I think D. Wiggins has the size, the athleticism, and I wanted to go with Brian Hightower, but we already saw what Brian Hightower does against SEC corners, so I don't know if that's a sleeper. D. Wiggins dropped a simple bomb against Virginia Tech, so that's my sleeper as far as somebody who, if he was to get it all together, I think could be a pretty good third or fourth wide receiver for us. On the defensive side of the ball. Um, Since number 5 is the starter, this young man hasn't gotten a lot of talk about him. But I'm be honest with you, Derek Smith is my sleeper on the defensive side of the ball, and I think he'll come in and make a whole bunch of like big time hits on special teams. Like he might have a couple forced fumbles on special teams and on defense, man. Because um, personally, everyone's talking about either 5, Bubba Bolden, or 26, Gerber Hall. Thank God he's turning the corner. Whatever happened to him needs to happen to Mark Pope, D. Wiggins, and Brian Hightower this season so that they could be prepared for next season.
Tell you what, though, they're talking about Harley a lot, man. Like,
yeah,
something's going on, which we kind of were like, Harley, but they're talking about him a lot. I don't know. Something's going on. Maybe it'll be that connection. But 5 didn't win. I really feel like that pulled his stock down. His connection with Perry was just different.
So do you all think, now I said this on one of my videos and got a little backlash for it, but I don't really care. I think that based on who the starters were, I think the depth chart changes slightly about who starts where.
He said he'll build the offense around them. So, yes, that's personnel as well. Yes.
Right.
100%.
Like I personally think, the Harley to Perry combination is way better than anyone else's combination with Harley. Like I think Harley just likes the way that Perry threw the ball and they had a really good connection. But Jarren and 85's connection is on a whole different level.
It is. Yeah.
So I don't know. And then KJ Osborne is working out of the slot. And D. Wiggins, like somebody laughed at D. Wiggins, he's starting right now. Or at least taking the first team reps when I was at the practice. I saw him. KJ Osborne was in the slot. Jeff was out wide, and opposite of him was D. Wiggins. So D. Wiggins is doing something right to be starting.
But it's great to have such a stock room. Oh, someone put in a good one. Chigozie Naruka. Yeah, defensive tackles. He's a run stopper, pass stopper type of guy. I don't think he's gonna make explosive plays. I hope I'm wrong. I just feel like as a sleeper, I don't think that'll happen. It'll just be like, man, this guy's just a solid guy. He'll go, 3rd, 4th round in the NFL draft if he has a solid season type of thing. But like, that's just my thought on him. But I think good point though.
Now I'm gonna bring this up, and I know we really probably got to because I'm getting fired up, so I know I could be here for 20, 30 more minutes, but I got to respect everybody else's time. But I know for a fact that when it comes to as a defensive lineman and as an edge rusher, obviously when I was a lot more in shape here, guys. I coach now, so I eat donuts and watch film all day and just lift heavy weights all day.
Well, eating donuts.
But sometimes, man, or eating girls, I don't know, whichever one come first. But when it comes to having a good offense, you can really get after the passer and patch your stacks as a pass rusher. And I think that the production of the offense this year, like look at Joe Jackson. If Joe Jackson could have been if he could have had a year with let's say Brad Kaya's offense to where we were really getting after the passer and like putting up a lot of points, Joe probably could have snuck up to 10 sacks because teams would have to pass the ball to beat us. If we keep playing in these close knit games, then our pass rushes and our interceptions won't be up because teams won't have to put up points against us. They just have to score a couple touchdowns, 2 field goals, and beat Miami and play good defense. So I'm really looking for the offense to. They need to average. Manny Diaz said, if you give me 28 offensive points, we would have went undefeated last year. And if you look at the chart um, last year, if they get 28 offensive points, Miami goes at least 11-1 last year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Oh yeah.
And
Like 28 offensive, like not pick sixes, not special teams. You're telling me that you're guaranteeing me 4 touchdowns from the offense with a Manny Diaz, Blake Baker aggressive defense? Oh my goodness.
who can stop us? Like who can match that? I mean, you're right. I mean Clemson's the only one I can see where that game be wild and they top us 35 type of thing, But
I would love to see a shootout with them. I mean, I would hate it as a defensive guy, but if you tell me Miami goes out there and loses to Clemson 35-28,
oh my gosh.
Come
Dude,
on now. I'll
this
take
program, that's like we'll be just flying past where we should have been in our recruiting, and that program is going to be like toe to toe next season, man. Like that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Okay, last question, and then we'll get out of here. Last question.
All right.
It's a scenario question. I like coming up with scenarios. I like to question your mind. This is for the chat also. Would you all take 11-1 with a loss to Florida, a blowout loss to Clemson in a bowl game, but we win a blowout loss to Clemson in the ACC championship game, but we win our bowl game, or 10-2 with losses to Florida and Florida State, but we beat Clemson and we lose first round of the playoffs? Which scenario would you take?
What was the second one again? We go 11-1 and lose to Clemson?
No. 11. The first one was 11-1.
Right.
Lose to Clemson. Blowout loss to Clemson, but win our bowl game, which will be 12-2.
Okay.
Or 10-2 season with losses to Florida State and Florida, but we beat Clemson and win the ACC and lose first round of the playoffs. Which one would you take?
Paul, you want to take this one? I already got my pick.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm a realist, so 10-2 doesn't get you in the college football playoffs, man. But
as an ACC champion beating undefeated Clemson, how does that not get you in the playoffs?
He's not wrong. Man, he's not wrong, and I'll tell you why. It should, but here's why: because they're gonna push up Ohio State in there, no matter what.
Every team has one loss.
ACC is the most disrespected one, and if it's not Clemson, whatever team it is, they're not gonna respect them because it's a committee that chooses it now. I'm with Paul on that. It's unfortunate, and it shouldn't be that way, but it's going to be – they'll throw in 2 SEC teams over that. They'll throw in 2 SEC teams if they can over that. They don't care. I'm just telling you. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to have an SEC. We're going to have Oregon from Pac-12.
Well, we would technically be 11-2 after beating an undefeated Clemson in an ACC championship game, I don't see how we don't make the playoffs. But if you all think that we don't make the playoffs, I understand. But I personally think that we would make the playoffs after beating, let's say they're even like a undefeated number one ranked Clemson. Come on now.
But we lost all our in-state rivalries.
Right.
Okay.
Florida State is going to suck this year.
They really
that would
are.
Be bad.
Look, I will take your scenario though because ACC trophy. I want us to get to. I understand there's bragging rights, but having an actual ACC trophy on there, it's about dang time. That's just
right. Because I'm thinking big picture here. Like, okay, 11-1. Okay, we beat Florida State. Make it three years in a row we beat Florida State. But either way, there's a loss to Florida in these scenarios. And the only reason why I bring them to you because these are things that I see in Facebook fan groups, and it's just to have an interaction with the chat. Because everyone's gonna go, neither. We're 12-0. We're the greatest people in the world. 2001 Canes is on the rise. Come on, guys.
I think I'll tell you this. This is why. I have seen Miami beat Florida State, and I've seen Miami beat the Florida Gators. I have not seen Miami have an ACC championship. That's why that's my desired thing. And I think we saw the result of beating those teams. It helped, but it didn't explode us out of the waters for recruiting. I think beating Clemson just will. I mean, it's just a monster of its own.
Right, and then you win, and see, in this scenario, we make the playoffs. So you're saying the first year of Manny Diaz, we not only win the Coastal, we win the ACC, and we make it to the playoffs?
I don't care if we lose bad in the playoffs. Just that accomplishment of first-year head coach against Clemson.
And you beat the defending national champions? Come on now.
But yeah, reigning title.
And see, that's the thing. Scenarios are meant to be a mixture of realistic and unrealistic. And that's no shot at you, Paul. But I'm just saying for the people in the chat, they're like, "Oh, that makes no sense."
I got the scenarios next week. Your
scenarios are going to be 8-4 or 10-2.
How do you lose to Florida State, beat Clemson and get in the college football playoffs? It's just mind blowing. I can't put it in
because recency bias. At the time
it can happen. Here's what I'll say: college football is a game of momentum.
Never gets in, and they're undefeated every season. How is Miami going to get in? I just don't get it.
But they're not in the ACC. They're not in the ACC, and we would have beaten the number one ranked Clemson team who just won a national championship. That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing: Clemson has to be undefeated when we face them in that scenario. If Clemson is not, no. I'm sorry, it's just not enough. It has to be an undefeated because you just swap spots. Because if Clemson wins, that's their spot. It's going to be like that scenario when we lost to Pitt. When we lost to Pitt, we should how should you be in the playoff if you lose to Pitt? But that was just the thing. If we played Clemson. If we played anybody else, it won't work out. If we play Clemson, we naturally lock them out and get it. But I'm with you, Paul. How does that happen? Can you lose to a Florida Gators and Florida State team and beat a Clemson? They're not on the same playing fields. But I'll tell you how. Week 0 games are just weird and funky. And Florida State rivalry games, momentum, last second, missed an extra point, boom. Which
it's crazy. And then we're in the college football playoffs.
Right, and like I said, I get when you do the whole realistic thing. I understand that. I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying I brought up this scenario for argument and debate purposes. That's what I'm saying.
Man.
But I get what you're saying. It's unrealistic, and in your opinion, it doesn't make any sense. I understand.
Paul, you would take. You want to lock down Florida, though. You think locking down Florida is what would you take?
Huh?
So, Paul, you would take locking down Florida, but losing to Clemson is what I'm getting.
You got to be your rivals, man. You got to be your rivals.
So you think
that's a must?
So, from a recruiting standpoint, beating your rivals is more for your recruiting than beating the defending champion?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because Clemson's always going to take their top tier players, but then the kids. Remember, guys like Xavier Henderson, who got a no from Clemson. He's looking at Florida. That's his next choice. If Miami kicks Florida State's ass, that's such a stronghold, like changing of the tide. We beat in Florida State 3 straight years. We just beat Florida again.
With 3 different quarterbacks. We're going to beat Florida State with 3 different quarterbacks in 3 years. It's going to be great.
Look at that recruiting pitch to a kid. Like, why would you want to come to Florida State? You know, you got to be your in-state rivals. You know, that's what Jimbo Fisher did against Miami. You know, he kicked our ass for what? How many years was it?
6.
You know, over 5 years at least.
7 years.
You know, that's how.
But what I'm saying is, if we're thinking big scale picture, beating Clemson is held to a higher esteem than beating low Florida State right now and over high Florida.
I'm with you, but here's Paul has a point. Because
I'm not saying he doesn't have a point. I respect what he's saying.
Clemson won't lose their recruits to Miami, no matter if they lose, because those guys are a lock if they're in. That's what I think.
One last thing. Didn't Syracuse, Pittsburgh beat Clemson? I mean, has their program changed? You know, it's not. I understand winning the ACC championship, but beating Clemson isn't everything, I feel like. And I honestly think you can beat Florida State, lose to Clemson in a shootout, and still get in the college football playoffs rather than going 10-2 and beating Clemson.
So I'm with you, Paul, on that. But here's the thing: that was Clemson of that week in that year. Clemson spanked Alabama on national television like we have not seen anybody do. And I know Holson's going to turn around, don't like it. It's a fluke. It ain't no fluke. Look at the scoreboard, man. We didn't prepare right. Nah, y'all got whooped and knocked off the hill like nobody. That Clemson team, that tide, that attention, and then Miami coming in and saying, let's knock you off the board is different than, as you said, you know, with the Syracuse thing. You know? So it's a... I don't know, man.
Can we start the season already? Can we?
My last comment about the scenario is I have seen recency bias be a big thing in recruiting. And if the last thing someone sees in December before they sign with you is you hoisting up an ACC championship trophy after beating the national champions, what kind of recruiting pitch is going to matter than you holding your conference championship for the first time with a first-year head coach, proving that the only reason why we didn't go over the hump was Mark Richt. Manny Diaz comes in with a new quarterback, with a new offensive coordinator, beats the defending national champions in the ACC championship game. How is that not a better recruiting pitch than we're undefeated in our state?
Because what if Florida goes out and has a better season than Miami and wins the SEC? Florida beat Miami. What if Florida State goes 10-2 and they beat Miami? You know, it's like, okay, these guys still beat Miami. You know,
that's a lot of water scenarios. Here's the problem with Wholesome. I'll tell you one thing. For Miami to beat Clemson on a blue chip recruits prospect, it would take I know it's a different sport, but an NBA Toronto Raptors knocking down Golden State Warriors. Like, they're going to have injuries. They're going to have to look like a different team that everyone respects. And they're going to have a game that just does not go their direction in such a way. So that win for Miami, it will be a win. It'll be a different respect win. You know what I'm saying? The odds of Miami 100% healthy versus Clemson 100% healthy this year 100%. Of us winning a game without any flukes, that's a dream. Like, that's just you can calculate that.
The depth isn't there.
So I think for us to beat Clemson, and maybe you'll disagree with me, I don't think we can beat 100% healthy Clemson.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It'll take flukes for us to do that. But it's college football. Clemson is not going to be 100%.
And anything could happen when you line up and play the game. But let's also think about this. They lost a lot to the draft.
They did.
Yeah.
They lost a lot. And a lot of people are starting to think like, all right, what is this guy Trevor Lawrence going to do with film on him from an entire season? Now, I understand I'm the minority in this argument of Miami having a chance. I understand that. And I know people say, oh, we're 2 or 3 years behind them. But that's why it's a scenario. That's what I was saying. All you had to do was pick one or the other. That's all.
Y'all, I can't ignore this one. Incredible Bob. This is the delusional fan base that I just cannot. Tate Martell gave Miami the best chance to beat. And Plains, Jarren Williams is like starting, I'm guessing you say, waving the flag of give it up. Bruh.
Hey, someone said Perry was going to win the Heisman this season, so in one of the comments before, way back, so anything is possible with our fan base.
No, this is a Florida Gator fan thinking that Tate gave us the best chance. Bruh.
I don't think
that's like
so.
me saying your third string quarterback gave you the best chance, and like what y'all need to stop.
Hey, yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Our O-line is horrible. Look at yours. Ranked 120th in the country on experience. We have 3 solid guys. We just need to figure out 2. Come on, bro.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's true. I see what you're saying. Someone's saying 16-minute game upset can happen. I mean, we've seen that. I know the Pitt game. It was pretty crazy. It was wild. We'll see it. Y'all, all right. We said it was the last statement. Y'all have any other things y'all want to say? Because we really got to be wrapping it up. We're about to hit 2 hours. How's it got no comment? All I got
nothing.
Man. All right. Well, y'all, it has been a wild show, but Jarren is QB1. 11 days till college football, basically 10 because today's like almost over. We're about to hit freaking midnight. And y'all have been just an amazing crowd as always. Great topics, great questions, great inputs. And as always, appreciate Paul and Wholesome One, though they may disagree or not, and we may too. But hey, Miami's on the up and up, y'all. This team, the whole nation is going to see something different. And I cannot wait for it, y'all. So, other than that, it's always all about the U, baby. Go Canes.
Oh, boy.